Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to The Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado Springs Real Estate Authority. Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb Schlinker is a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that the Springs has to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air the Real Estate Voice show every Saturday, and if you can't listen to the entire show because you're just going from one place to another, it's always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or search Barb and most of the podcasts, iHeart Radio and all of the others, Barb Schlinker, Schlinker. Every week, the Real Estate Voice covers great information about the housing market, and one of your largest assets, certainly mine, for most people, it's the home and a 401c3. Barb, what kind, 401k? Let me do that. Every week, the Real Estate Voice covers great information about the housing market and one of your largest assets, your home. Barb, what are we going to be talking about today?
I'm so excited about today's show because we're going to cover a couple of new topics, including we haven't really talked about whether or not it's a good time to put your house on the market during the holidays. But I get that question from my clients all the time. Are you sure it's a good time? Shouldn't we wait until after? So we'll be covering that. I'm excited about that. Also, some top tips for selling $1 million homes. Believe it or not, the luxury market is selling a lot faster and more robustly than the not luxury market, which is very interesting right now. We're also going to cover a kind of sensitive topic, which is about divorce. So nobody wants to go through that. It's devastating and heartbreaking, but we'll cover what you need to know if you're facing divorce and how it applies to your house, your mortgage, and your taxes. And then the last topic, and we're seeing a lot of this right now, where homes that have been on the market are not selling, and either their listing is expiring or people are taking their home off the market and trying to decide what they do next. So we're going to talk about what to do if your house doesn't sell, whether or not it's time to switch agents, or maybe not. Maybe you just need to resolve the issue. And then, of course, the last thing that we love talking about is all of our hot new listings. Richard?
Barb, a lot of people that are thinking about selling a home during the holiday season, they think it is the worst time to sell a home. We've talked about this a little bit, but is it really true? Should people just put everything on hold?
Well, I don't think so, unless you're just not going to be available to accommodate a sale, which really doesn't take a lot of interaction from the seller other than getting ready to go on the market. And beyond that, everything can be done virtually or over the phone. But actually, the truth is, the answer is no, it's not the worst time to sell a home. It's actually one of the better times, according to Redfin and some of these experts out there that track all the statistics. Typically, at least in the past 5 or 10 years, December has been one of my best months in the year because people that are moving need to move. They have to move. And they're very decisive about making things happen. They're not just sticking their toe in. They're very, very serious. So just recently, in fact, just a couple of days ago, one of the persons that works for the Fed, Jerome Powell, came out and promised again that he's going to keep stepping on the gas and raising interest rates until they get inflation down to 2%. Now, I don't know how he's going to pull that off, because that interest rates are not the only factor that causes inflation to be high. A lot of it has to do with gas prices and food prices and things like that. So we'll see what happens. But what we're seeing right now, at least with regards to real estate, is a lot of people are jumping in on getting their home under contract and getting locked in a house so they could lock in their interest rates so they don't have to face higher interest rates going forward. In fact, what's really interesting about it is some buyers are thinking, oh, well, the prices have corrected a little bit. And if you look at the most recent averages, it's indicating that the prices have only corrected about 30,000 since its peak in April. So that's not too terrible considering in the previous years before that, 3 years before that, home prices went up over 52%, which is, it's not sustainable. I mean, it's great if you're selling a home, but it's really tough on the buy side. So anyway, so with the Fed saying that they're going to raise interest rates, what we're seeing right now in December is that buyers are jumping on houses before the rates go up, and that's probably the right decision. We're also seeing that the surge in prices that happened in the past year, there's just no way that could be sustainable. I mean, I looked back from 2019 to 2022, home prices year to date have gone up 52.5%. Richard, doesn't that seem like a big number?
That seems like a very big number. And you've been following this stuff for a couple of decades. I mean, you've seen it come and go. The numbers go up, that whole bubble burst, which is not likely to happen again. But that's why I have so much faith in you. You see the trends and you know how to analyze them.
Well, I mean, the good news is with the Fed raising interest rates, it did kind of stop this massive surge in home prices. And if you look back to when our market was more what they call normalized, 2016 to 2019, which were still good appreciating markets in the Colorado Springs area, the average price increase per year was about 7%. If we go back from a year ago to right now, it's 5.8%. So we're going to see some normalization as long as the Fed keeps raising interest rates. It may even go to even possibly next year, or just a few percentage points as far as appreciation. But I think that's temporary. I think if you look over the long term, home prices keep going up. And many people buy homes based on what kind of payment they can afford. That's why some of the builders are struggling and some of the contracts are failing, because if that buyer did not lock in their interest rate and then, oh, sorry, the rates went up, now they don't like the payment. I was just talking to one of my clients who's a mortgage broker yesterday, and he said, yeah, we've had deals fall out because the payment went up and they didn't lock. So I think the other thing that happened is that the iBuyers, the big tech companies, were just going all in with gobbling up buy and hold or buy and flip real estate in this market. And it's been going on for about 8 years. One company called Home Partners, they're still buying, but for the longest time, they would come in and pay full price, even over full price up against competition cash, to buy a piece of real estate and rent it out to somebody after they close on it. So more recently, their offers are coming in 10% below asking price. And many of the iBuyers stop buying altogether. Open Door, not unless they can get a screaming deal. Zillow got out of the game. Redfin quit buying. So a lot of these Wall Street investor companies quit buying homes at the same time when buyers had to compete with them because of the low interest rates. So all that happened at once, and it's created this really unusual market shock. And it's going to be okay. It's going to normalize. Interest rates right now are hovering around 7%. Some will sit on the sidelines and save a little bit more money. But if you think about it, time is not your friend. You're better off getting a house as possibly as lowest price as possible as you can, and then just wait, because the market's going to keep going up. So when you sell in the winter, it's a really good time to sell, because actually the statistics indicate that a home seller will get more towards asking price than they would in the summer, when there's more homes on the market and more homes to compete with. So selling in the wintertime is actually a really good time. And it gives some home sellers a little bit more time, because they have more time off to prepare their home for sale. They can leverage that emotional holiday spirit. You know, the homes all look beautiful with Christmas decorations. It has that I'm home feeling. It gives a great warm impression, and people do buy homes on emotion. So the ones that are buying, they need to buy right now, and the ones that are selling also need to sell. And it just creates a really good environment to sell homes. And actually, December for me is turning out to be one of my best months of the year, Richard.
And if that is true, it's a good month for the people who are hiring you. You're listening to The Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Always reach Barb at 719-301-3900. She and her team are happy to take your call and help you out. We're talking about whether or not to sell a home in the winter, especially during the holidays. Barb, what are some other reasons people should not wait until after the holidays if they need to sell their home?
Well, actually, the buyers oftentimes have more financial resources to buy this time of year. Many people are getting bonuses, that kind of stuff is happening. And a lot of times we're seeing new jobs being offered right after the first of the year. And if people have to relocate for a new job, they're a highly motivated buyer that's going to pay a premium. So they might be coming out during the holidays to look. And the good news is many of them want an expedited closing process, which nowadays the lenders can close in 3 weeks. The bad news is they might want you to get out sooner. But in fact, with one of my clients, they weren't ready to move until the end of January. We negotiated to close in December, and then they rent the house back from them until the end of January. And it worked out great for everybody. The other thing is the school calendar is not as critical as it has been in the past. Plus, there's usually breaks right now. Typically, the school break runs from about the 19th of December, a good 2 to 3 weeks. So that's a very good time for people to go shopping for homes, people to commit to a home at that point. And the other thing is that they have more cash available to them. So it gives them more opportunity to purchase a home. And then the 3 P's still work in real estate: preparation, pricing, and promotion. So as long as you price your home realistically, not optimistically, and do good preparation to get it going on the market, the chances of you getting a sale this time of year is really, really good. And if you're thinking of selling, you want to make sure you're hiring an agent that knows how to create demand in any kind of market, no matter what is going on. And that's part of what we do. We market our sellers to our database of buyers in waiting that are out there looking right now, as well as show them different ways that we promote the home to get them top dollar for their home. And demand is created by several things: condition, preparation, pricing it right, marketing. So you want to make sure you're hiring the agent that can do that. We just sold Lynn and Cindy's home, believe it or not, the weekend before last, Richard, at this higher priced home, we had 85 people at the 1 hour open house, and they got to choose from 6 different offers. So if you look at where do buyers come from, I found this really cool resource on realtor.com that showed in this county where the buyers are coming from. And the answer was really quite surprising. Many of them are coming from Arizona, coming up here, or many are coming down from Denver because the prices are still better here and the area is much nicer and less traffic than Denver. So that's part of what we do, is we know this and we're able to market them. So if you are thinking of making a move and you want to give us a call, our number is 719-301-3900, or you can go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to The Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you're thinking of making a move, call Barb and her team at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. When we come back, we'll be talking about top tips for selling $1 million homes. You don't want to miss that.